Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to A Breeze in the Pines. My name is Richard, and we are back on the Ozark Highlands Trail. Today we're going to be hiking from Dockery Gap at mile 9 to a viewpoint at mile 13, and then back. So it'll be about an 8-mile day today. We are just off of, I don't think it's a highway anymore, but it's 348 outside of Mountainburg, Arkansas. Exit 29 from I-49. And it's a beautiful summer's day in February in northwest Arkansas. All right, on the Ozark Highlands, white blazes are your friends. So on this hike, we've got some pretty good elevation change. This first section of trail, we're going pretty much straight down. Cross a creek, and then it's up for 2 miles. And here's our register. All right, just sign the trail register. If you go that way to the right, that's going to take you back to crossing, what road is that? Old Loch Road. And continuing on to Lake Fort Smith. So we are going this way after I close the register. I can't resist. All right, I just checked my map because the trail is not obvious in through here. That was stupid. All right, mystery solved. I don't think I missed a blaze, but there's nothing that way. But I do see a blaze down there and a trail. We should be just about to our water crossing. So we are just before the creek, and a pretty nice campsite right here. Right by the creek. All right, nice trail ahead of me. No blaze. Small trail and a blaze. Okay, there's our blaze right across. This is not very deep. Yeah, What the heck? Gonna get wet anyway. Alright, there's my blaze across the river. My blaze on this side of the river. Man, how's this for a campsite? Got a fire pit, a chair, and a freaking table right by the river. Pretty darn cool. Okay, we're at mile 10.6 on the Ozark Highlands Trail, and this water source is on the Far Out app. Just noticed I didn't buckle my hip belt. Alright, blowdowns about mile 11.2. 11.1, 11.2. All right, this is mile 11.4, and I'm gonna go around. That was a mess. Somewhere along the way, I lost the receiver for my microphone. Backtracked, I didn't see it in the brush there. Okay, this will be Hurricane Creek Road up above us. Looks like a good rest stop. Got to do some pack adjustments. Maybe have a little snack. Okay, up this way is White Rock Mountain. Brakes over. Got about a mile and a half to go. Quite uphill in this stretch. All right, mile 12. We've got 1 mile to go. All right, up ahead is Hurricane Creek Road, closed. This, I believe, is 1003. There's a landslide up ahead, so the road's closed until they get that fixed. All right, Ozark Highlands is a national recreation trail, as opposed to a national scenic trail like the Appalachian Trail that gets all the glory. But this is Arkansas's trail. We share the Ouachita Trail with Oklahoma, so it's not completely ours. Ouachita. I really don't know. I've heard different pronunciations. Just like some people say Appalachian. What the heck is that? Alright, this is mile 12.6. Not sure what this is. Oh, this is the Bud Light Trail. Yeah, we're at trail mile 12.9, so a tenth of a mile to go. here we are, mile 13 on the Ozark Highlands Trail. Looky what I found. Thank you, Jesus. We are back at the trail register. That last uphill ruined my my stats. I was doing 24-minute miles the first 2 miles, then came to the hill in 35 minutes. As I was coming up the hill, I passed a couple of guys who had started at Lake Fort Smith today, and they were planning on camping down by Hurricane Creek. So I told them about that awesome campsite on the other side of the river. I didn't get their names. I never do. We'll see if they signed in. Okay, Benjamin and Daniel. Hope you have a great trip, however far you're going. Didn't think to ask if they were through hiking. Okay, just out of curiosity, this goes back to January of 2022. And Old Guy Hikes just did this in, I think it was November. His videos just came out. Alright, there we go. 11/15/25, Randy Old Guy Hikes. Going east to mile marker 13. That's what I did.
A few moments later.
Yeah, it would be cool. I brought my poles home. Alright, that was the Ozark Highlands Trail from Dockery Gap to mile marker 13 and back. 3.8 miles each way. Beautiful hike. Man, that hill. Coming back up that hill is a killer. Well, as always, thanks for hiking with me. Hit that like button. We'll see you down the trail. Blaze on.